be a little bit early because I was a bloody coin toss from not coming on at all. It's been one of those weeks, team, and it just doesn't stop giving. I don't know how your week's been, but it seems like the stars are aligned this week. Tonight might be a ghost town just to top it off. Don't know. Got some news I want to share with you soon. Probably some pretty sad news to tell you the truth. It's um it's been a really chaotic afternoon to tell you that. Um, Mr. Buckaroony's probably going to be here. Right? We've got Rob Kent, who sent me some fantastic videos, updates, and yeah, we'll see what he's got to say. Good to see you. Stream anytime. Who dares wins? After all, that's right, Mr. Bain. Ant Middleton got sacked from UK. Who dares wins? I don't understand. They reckon he was too honest, to tell you the truth. John William, two confusing first names put together. Hey, Cassie bro, says William John. John is a very important name to me because it was the brother that I lost before I was actually a twinkle in my father's eye. We've got Brown Key here. I keep thinking Brown Key, but I'm not LGBT. So we'll keep it with Bounty. We've got Gav. We've got Leo, Stuntman. What do Kaz and team? What's do, Kaz and team? Navy veteran. Good to have you here. How's the fitness going, mate? Does your card look good, Mr. Buckaroony? He's on. Jennifer G, how you going, mate? Jennifer G's just had an operation. Hopefully it's going all right. Thanks for the heads up at 12:30 at night. Arcane. G'day all. Hope you're well. Brad versus 46 or VR46. That's Valentino Rossi's number. We've got Morgs. Hey, Kaz, what's all your advice on the channel, mate? Got the official offer letter today to start at RMC in January. Morgs, fantastic. You need to be in the Patreon so we can help you out. I've got some news on Patreon too. Yeah, something weird is going on. Nefarious, so to say. Jay Hayes from Western Australia, WA man. We've got Historian Music. G'day, man. I'm finally back. Took me long enough. It's fine. It's not ever meant to be a chore. We've got Mr. Buckaroony, RIP, Mr. P. That's what we were going to talk about. Rob Kent has just sent me a message. Okay, it's the thumbs up for Ivan Milat to come and say g'day. We've got Reese here. G'day, buddy. Okay, it's got 8.4 on my beep test. Not the best, but it passed. That's all right, mate. It's locked those scores in, and it's you versus the next crowd you see. So we've got a bunch of good news, okay, and that is we're starting to see the figures roll in. We're seeing some fantastic comments that come in with the previous video on don't get out of the military until you watch that video with 6,500 views on that one. So it is important that people understand that the dismount off the beam from military, ADF, Air Force, Navy, Army, is as important as the mount itself. I was almost going to call tonight's beautiful women and raw chicken. What are you talking about, Kaz? Before we get into the serious matters. Today I went to a beautiful Chinese restaurant with Aaron, the Hitman Dixon, Irish. And it was beside it was in the, like a dumpling bar down by the river, beside the coffee club, beside the Nepean River in Western Sydney. The girls there are stunning, absolutely stunning, and their smiles seem genuine. Had some great little conversations. The food was amazing. Had my first ever Alaskan king crab that's got legs still thicker than Kaz's. In case you don't know, Aboriginals and seagulls tease me about my legs, which you'd whistle on if they were connected to a woman. But talking to these girls, I'm just looking at Aaron Dixon's chicken while he's eating, and I went, what the hell? Is that Szechuan? No, it looked like it was bloody. So I looked at the chicken leg that I had in my mouth, which made me feel like a cannibal. And sure enough, if you see me start to legs up on this stream, maybe it's the raw chicken and beautiful women that have taken me down to the demise. Now, we've got some other news. What I'd like to do, Gerard Hand, that's fingers to all those that don't know. It is sad news on Mr. P. Basically, put a thumbs up there for Mr. P if you know who we're talking about. He's been in our stream forever. He's been in both of my channels forever. He's been in Mr. Buckarooni's channel. Mr. Fingers clearly knows him from both channels. Mr. P has been the professional geezer, a 72-year-old lovable pest that forever tells us, come on, it's time to get off. It's time to stop the stream. What's the cap? Get off. And it's been a long time since we'd seen him on. I was thinking, what's going on? Because he's part of our Patreon as well. You know, he's always chapping me ass in messages. And I sent a message a while back, and I said, what's going on, mate? Where are you? How are you? He's one of our long-term subscribers on both channels. I got a message from his wife, Christine, today saying, well, this is my phone about to be cut off soon because Mr. P actually passed away on the 23rd of August. So one of our subscribers, Patreon members, has actually passed away, which is really, really sad. However, rest in peace, Mr. P. And I'm going to have one of these for you, and I'll keep it Queensland-esque. Goldie. So guys and gals that are out there, I'll put a little montage, well, a little video out in the next few days for Mr. P, but I'd like to lift a glass and let him know as a veteran that they shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old, and age shall not weary them as the years condemn, however it did for him, you know, because he had a happy long life with his partner. Where was I up to? I shall not weary them nor the years condemn, and the going down of the sun. We will remember them. And Mr. P, we're saying your name tonight, Rob Patterson. Okay, we miss you, mate. Especially now that we know you're not there. I'm just glad that we asked about your whereabouts before someone actually had to tell us. So to you, sir, I say thank you for your time. 72 years old. That's a lot of time at the wicket, especially with someone who lived their life, and you can all hope to achieve what he has in his. Love, children, happiness, good stonk. That's for you, Mr. P, and I've got a second one over here for you too. Some thumbs up there for Mr. P if we can, team. G'day, Scotty. How you going? And welcome to Patreon, sir. I'm looking forward to talking to you over the next couple of days to see how Quinny is going. He's a proud father of Mr. Quinn, Navy veteran. Hey, Kaz, I'm glad I was able to catch the stream today. Was told this morning I have to deploy on Operation Flood Assist tomorrow. Told my boss Alice Pack has been packed since last floods and ready to serve. All right, mate, just remember, look after yourself, look after your brothers, and property is never more important than what your mates are or yourself. Mr. Buckarooni's got a scotch. We're not talking about a finger biscuit here, buddy. I know, and Coke. Good to see. Jay Hayes, hit that like button in memory of Mr. P. That's it, mate. Leo Wanker, sometimes you don't realise what you got till you lose it, eh? That's what I tell the ladies. Mr. P, legend, RIP, lest we forget. Yes, sir. Jennifer G says, cheers. Cheers all the way from Western Australia. It took a while to type, a while to get here, coming from that far. Mr. Buckaroony, he's already put out a little bit of a video notification on his, and I'm glad that I got back to you as quick as I could, because Mr. Buckaroony and I had been asking where he was. We're all going to go sometime. No one gets out of this alive or free. But he lived his life. And he was getting, I think, a little bit fed up with the way society's going too. What do we got there? Navy veteran Leo Wanker Stuntman. Well, we're talking about the demise of Mr. P. Okay, Fingers says, you'll be happy to know it pissed down on the current unit today at work. I love a good suffering. You know, when people realise not only they girt by sea, where they live under their hoochie, but it's not going to stop. And we all know you're not wet until your a-hole actually feels the damp. And then it's too late. Mr. Buckaroony, thanks for letting me know, Kaz. It's all right, Mr. Buckaroony. You might have seen on my thumbnail, it was the picture of myself in front of the Poppies, the Wall of Honour, at a photo that I'd taken. Actually, at the War Memorial with a little girl from the Ukraine who was absolutely devastated in that photo. And I've got to tell you, team, having been to some of these areas overseas and seen the devastation that the next generation holds up due to the lack of cooperation and ability to communicate between politicians who carry pens while those that carry the bayonet and the soldier do their bidding, regardless of the fact that the politician and the pen holder say, I will not give up. You're going, well, eventually, mate, you have to do collateral damage and look what you're losing, what you're destroying, and say what actually constitutes a win for you. And if you can't constitute a win, but you can salvage the best of a worse situation, then do that. Okay. You're not supposed to have any complaints until you have what would you say, a solution. Well, I'd imagine when we're talking about the Ukraine-Russia conflict, that it's about time for those Bondist regions for them to potentially say, righto, this is the deal to save the blood of those that are inside those areas annexed by Russia, regardless of what our opinions are. We need to have the Ukrainian blood stop flowing because we're not hearing about their casualties, and I'd imagine they're steep. And I would imagine there's a big percentage of that country with post-traumatic stress disorder that has been passed down for this event that's going on. But there's also a hell of a lot of destruction that's happening over with Russia and the lovely people that don't want to be part of this conflict either, because they're not necessarily enemies. This is more like a civil war. New South Wales fighting Queensland, people that used to visit each other's country, marry each other's cousins, and all we're seeing is fat cats get richer while the people that are patriotic, that do the fallen, leave children behind. Some of them made it out on trains. But some of them are there to stay. What are they going to inherit? Who knows? But when countries start to love their children more, politicians love their children more than they love their politics, then maybe we're going to see some sort of solution. But it doesn't look good when Ukraine is saying under no circumstance are we even going to go to the peace table. That should only be said by those that are actually carrying the rifle, because at the end of the day, they are a limited resource as well, and you're losing the best of your people. Sometimes you've got to understand that when NATO said no to you, you can't join. This can't go on forever. What's the price? It's not going to be getting paid in cash, I tell you that. How many must fall? It's breaking my heart to watch. Kaz was Mr. P infantry. I believe he was Mr. Buccarini. I believe he was infantry. Hey, Kaz, his wife said it was a blessing in disguise. He was not leading a good life. No, he had a firm upper lip, that's for sure. He did. And that's why sometimes it's good when the dog goes under the house and decides to lay its head down to sleep. You know, that is what happens. He was ex-military, right? Yep. What role did Mr. P have? I believe he was infantry, Senor Bain. Yep. I had a few conversations with him. You know, he was hard to get off the phone, easy to get onto it. It was a good dude. A good dude. His wife's name is Christine. All the best out there for Christine. I've watched an awesome video the last couple of days. Ask any question you want on any topic too, by the way, too. I got an excellent video from Robbie Kent, who sent me a video, and it was a 1 minute short that was basically a piece of Joe Rogan's conversation podcast with one of the lasses, and it was absolutely hard hitting. I've got a video that's almost finished, that was ready to go up today or yesterday, but I couldn't put it up because of everything that's going down. For those that don't know, the tax man is 6 weeks late in paying my my payback to me, which was going to assist me in helping others. And the other thing is, I don't know what's going on with the Patreon, but basically what happened is when we did we haven't touched it for months and months because we wanted to build that up so we can do a project to make you guys happy. When we did when we actually did the withdrawal to take it over to PayPal so I can put it into the charity accounts that we help people, it just came up with failed processing, but the money didn't show up in PayPal, and the money hasn't showed up again. And that was a week ago in Patreon. So that's about $2,000 there that is currently missing. And Patreon, not only can't you contact them by a phone, despite the fact they make millions of dollars a month, but they also say that if you send us an email, only send one. and it takes us more than a week to get back to you. Now, I've never had a problem on Patreon, and I love what it allows us to do for others. But I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm not bloody happy at all. Mr. Buckerini says, I love his grumpy voice. Message not here. Leave a message. Short and sweet. Yep. Yep. Lauren's not having the best of times either, team. I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm giving her a space. But yeah, when you've got a big family, there's always going to be, something going on, I guess. G'day, Lloydie. How you going, mate? PayPal got hacked, says Maddie. Yeah, it did get hacked, but they've also got some weird things on there with the woke agenda where they're saying that they're going to withhold several $1,000s from people's PayPal accounts if they don't meet the guidelines that they want. Now, to me, that's a crime. But I don't know much about that. I haven't researched it. The money didn't get to PayPal. I don't believe so. We'll have a look. We've got a hell of a lot of people at the moment, team, that are getting ready to go to Kapuka in January, as well as RMC. We've got people right now that are getting ready to go and complete their officer training. We've got people that are about to complete their CAV scout course in the next couple of weeks. Let's hope that they get the rain so they actually have to earn that hat badge, eh? It's going to be very interesting. Nobody is having a good time. Nah, man. The share market every day feels like someone's using your ball bag for a ground to ceiling ball every day. It's an ass kicking. Well, there's no one basically on here, team. There's no one here tonight. No one. One person just rocked up. G'day. For those that are just turning up, just understand that Mr. P lost his life on the 23rd of August. We're doing a bit of how you going here. What are your thoughts, team, on Ukraine Russia? I can't see a happy ending there, team, because it seems like egos are clashing while their people pay the prices. I've not been able to access my PayPal for months, so now I transfer money to a friend's account and use his card. What happened there, Lloydie? Matty, he's got no shares. Tell you the truth, mate. If you get in the right company at the moment, you can make a goddamn fortune because everything is down. Breezy Lions, there you go, mate. Bit rate. Mr. Buckaroonie, my super is down 30Ks down. Yeah, mate. Yeah. You know what? I figure it's similar to housing, isn't it? There's a lot of people, depending on where you are, your house goes down tens of thousands of dollars, you don't suddenly sell your house, do you? But it's the same for the share market. I'm in pretty deep. Let's just say that. I got out of crypto just in time, but Kaz, how do you think Australia would go on the first class battlefield, drones, artillery, etc.? We haven't got a big enough army, mate. We haven't got a big enough army, but I don't think the intention is for us to go offshore. It would take a pretty bloody big deal for Australian forces to go overseas, especially for something kinetic. My solution for what should happen in several areas, one in the USA and another one in places like Ukraine, Russia, is they need someone to get involved and say, look, this is the deal. You guys can't come up with an answer. You can't come up with peace. You're going to let people keep falling for your cause. Now we're going to come in as a middle term, just like they did with the Camp David Accords between Israel and Egypt, and say, we're going to sort this problem out for you, and you're both going to do what you're told, or NATO's going to get involved. It's terrible. I love people, and it doesn't look like the movies when it goes wrong, guys. It doesn't. It's a very, very sad situation. The other one, I think we've got to the stage where it's basically warfare in the USA, especially in the Democrat cities, in the inner city violence that's going on and the crime. I think that's time that people potentially stepped in over in the USA as an outside country and came in and said, you guys got too much dirty water under the bridge, and go in there and put boots on the ground, and a curfew by night, and get the kids back to school and start looking after them, and preventing this from getting any worse. I don't think it can get much worse than what it actually is in USA. It's as bad and more violent than most countries on earth, that are, even some of the broken states. I've never seen anything like it. Well, I have, but they're in war zones. I don't know. Don't know explanation. Whenever it might be short term, I spend my time trying to fix my PayPal. Then I spend actually using my PayPal account. Well, I put some money back into the PayPal just to try that, and it worked fine. So I don't know what the hell's going on. I agree with you, Senior Bain. I think Russia's playing the long game. Going to hurt, but it is going to hurt. I just don't think what they're getting. But I guess what they're saying is that they want to connect the Crimea so that they don't have to keep getting the water, shipped in from Russian mainland, etc., and connect them to what's going on. Matty, Florida, yep, with Mr. DeSantis over there. Right, he is great for his state. He is. But the Florida Keys and that have been hit pretty hard. And my heart goes out to our American brothers and sisters. And everything I ever say, sometimes it might look like it comes from a political spectrum, but in actual fact, it comes from a compassion place in my heart. The Swedish are good at remaining neutral. Maybe they could broker a peace. Don't know, mate. I don't know. USA is a mess, mate. Sad to see it is. Then look, when you're younger, you probably don't realise why. And I'll explain this one to you. Mr. Buckaroo, you probably understand. Robbie Kentwood, some of the older blokes, some of the older dogs. But this is fitting, the background I've got here, the Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is a symbol of the USA. USA is a brand that I grew up with, that when in doubt, at least when you're with the USA, you're A-OK. Because Uncle Sam has got your back. He is the leader of the free world, and they are righteous, etc. And they are not just a brand, but they're a squeaky clean brand. They win the Olympics every time. They win every fight they go to. They've bailed us out when we were at the witching hour, the last round with Ivan Drago. They were always there, but what we're seeing lately is they're hanging out. They're dirty washing, and they're showing us a side we didn't know existed. We thought they were all pleats, great ironing, fantastic, corn-fed, wholesome, lovely people. What we're seeing is, what would you say? Familiarity breeds contempt. And let's just say, if you give bad actors the chance to bad act, they take it with spades, so to speak. Sweden and Finland applied to be part of NATO. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. But you're not allowed to go. Yeah, and they should be allowed to go straight into NATO, because one of the stipulations of going into NATO is you cannot be in current conflict unless it's civil war. It's one of the reasons why Ukraine isn't allowed to go in, because Article 5 would then say that all countries of NATO now must attack whoever is attacking Ukraine. But because the fight is already on, they're not allowed to take them in, which would ultimately drag everyone into a big fight. Terrible chefs, says Bainey. I'm not sure about that. Going to phased out in Australia. I'm not sure what that one's about, Matty. What are we talking about? Not sure what we're talking about. I think what we need to do in Australia, in the answer to your question before, Mr. Buckaroo, is we need to start speaking the truth. A HR department needs to start having standards. What the military is known for. We do not need to meet the specifications or requirements of civilian service. We are a steadfast, separated organisation that asks you to do things you'd never be asked to do in a single job in civilian sector. Therefore, we should not be dropping our standards for a hybrid version of civilian accreditation until it's time to go out. Right? Until it's time to exit from the military. Yeah. So I think at the moment we've got some officers that are trying too hard to be politicians in the next life. And ultimately the people that are paying for that is going to be the people that are serving, in a moralistic way. If you treat people with kid gloves, then they'll get bored. If you treat them with challenges, make them proud, make them a franchise, bring in the shirts, you know, let them wander the streets in uniform while they're serving. We're a 24-hour a day career anyway. Soldiers should never, ever have to not wear their uniform, because when a man is in uniform, he will do what he's told. And you've got to remember that an Australian soldier, airman, or sailor is responsible for at least two judicial systems. Okay, one being the civilian law enforcement agencies, as well as that of the military judicial system. So we need to see soldiers, males, females, blacks, whites, orange, yellows, whatever, in uniform, representing our community in uniform, on public transport potentially, letting people know that it's a safe space within 30 metres of that person, because they will react, QRF, quick reaction force, if they see something untoward. Now, how can a child ever wish to be an Australian soldier if he's never seen one? It ain't going to happen. Bring back the toy soldiers. Bring back great quality toy soldier. I'll buy some. Jennifer, I think John Howard was our greatest Prime Minister. I liked him, but he took my guns as well. Josh, okay, thoughts on ADF changing arms? Will we get away with the bullpup and move to an AR platform? Thoughts, Josh? By the sound of it, we're moving towards US weapon systems, being the 6.5 millimeter SIG Spear, I believe it is, that I think we're going to, which will give an ability to hit harder at the same ranges that we shoot at. Okay, there's modularity. It means that we save a hell of a lot of money by not having to do new research and development, by getting away from the Steyr, moving into something that our allies use. I think is a good idea. Something that has more punch at shorter distances to defeat threat force body armor. I think that's important as well. And to tell you the truth, it looks better in photos too, and that's what matters the most to the soldier. Either way, people can talk about the effective range, but you're not going to have an effective range of 500 metres and all that sort of crap. You know, at 100 metres, in case you don't know, when you fire around, it normally lands about between 6 and 10 centimetres, depending on whether you're talking 223, 556 millimetre or 762. It can fall between 6 and 10 centimetres from the exact point you aim above your point of aim. But it tends to land smack on at exactly 200 metres. So we should be zeroing our weapon at either 100 or 200 metres for what we believe the fight should be at, the distance where the typical contact occurs at. You know, maybe 150 metres would be more accurate than the 100 metre zero. Yeah. How are we going? Where is everyone tonight, I wonder? Mr. Buck Rooney, number one, SF rule. Look good. You got to look good. Navy veteran says, started my talk to MP last week. And honestly, the DFDA is very interesting. It's interesting to note the ADF members have to follow the DFDA and the federal law, making them more liable for their actions. There's almost no one more liable for their behaviour than actual military are. Police, I would imagine, are, because they've also got integrity that they have to, if they fail the integrity law at any stage, they can lose their job ASAP. You know, in the army, you know, this is a funny one. You've probably done it before, Bucko. You talk to a soldier, you come in, tell me what happened. He tells you what happened, you say it patiently, and then you go, all right, okay, that's your political spin. Now I'm going to ask you to your face. I'm not going to ask you, are you lying to me? I'm going to say, okay, let's start again. Give me the real story, because if you bullshit to me, I can't keep this at the lowest level. Tell me the truth so I know all of the warts so I can assist you to get out of this goddamn mess. Some of the rules we've got in the Army, which I found really confusing, is when a soldier has an alcohol-related incident, we're part pirate anyway, that they can be taken off operational tours of deployment. You're going, it's not meant to be a gift to send you overseas. It is a burden of service. You don't come back the same. And if you're going to send someone who's got an alcoholic problem and leave them at home, away from all of their, what do they call it? Their safety net, their brotherhood, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to go crazy. Send them overseas because then they're going dry, because it is dry when we go overseas. No alcohol, depending on what the deployment is. So what better way to clean someone out, take away their alcohol dependency problems, which is a human thing, okay, then send them overseas for 6 months to dry out. So it looked like a millbag filter. Andrew, g'day, buddy. How you going, Senor Andy? We've got Daz there. He's got his grass and loose and looking fantastic for his cattle. We've got Robbie Kent. Daz, mate. Rob, thank you very much for that video from Joe Rogan. It's just sat in my soul. I've made a video. It's supposed to be coming out tomorrow, okay, mate? Mr. Kent. Mr. Bucker, yeah, what is everyone doing? Footy season's over. Nicole K has gone out to dinner. Yeah, she sent me a message before to say she'd heard that Mr. Buckaroony has gone to the big white cloud. I don't mean New Zealand. Yeah, and she was saying she was pretty upset about it too. Regan for president. Reg Regan, I am absolutely, what would you call it, out of the loop for this one. Who's Reg Regan? I'm sure when you tell me, I'm going to go, of course. Mr. Buckley, Kaz, you would have been a bloody good platoon sergeant. Keep it at platoon sergeant level, because if it gets to CSM level, it gets ugly. It's exactly right there, Mr. Buckaroony. And I'll tell you one other thing. I never charged a single soldier in my military career. I always found an alternative. Some would have called it potentially I was getting out of the military, as a lot of what they would call an illegal punishment was gotten rid of, despite the fact those illegal punishments still exist all across the officers' cadre. But we're not allowed to talk about that. Doesn't make sense. Laws for one. Actually nice when it touches your lips. I'm out and having a taste of Mr. P. Good on you, Nicole K. Yep. What are you drinking? Lightfoot. Well, I know they work on Saturday, but at least I got the courage to ask a third girl. I thought I was interested. I found out that she does have a husband before asking her on a date. Yep. Don't go near someone that's married, mate. It never ends well, and it can't start off well, because you'll piss all over the garden, that could have been something beautiful. Always fish about. That's a name. Tattoos. What have you seen that is waived to get in the Army? I have a large tattoo on the back of my head, and I want to be as a driver in the reserve. Well, that's a tough one, mate, and it is case by case. But to tell you the truth, mate, it seems like the laws of tattoos changes all the time, right? I had a dickhead who came to the military once, and he had a picture. It's a tattoo of a wolf that was clawing its way out of his eye. And I've got to tell you, that tattoo was taken and administered, I'd imagine, by the worst tattooist that had done his time in prison. And he'd probably done it with a collection of Bic pens. Even the tattoo removalist did a bad job with it. It was horrible, but he was allowed to serve. Don't know what happened to him. I think he went to 3-hour and then fucked up and got kicked out. Matty John's character case. Bring back the Biff. Yeah, but it hurts as you get older, man. Fighting on the footy field, for some reason, doesn't hurt. But when you're in a pub or when you're in the street, it tends to hurt like buggery. And if you're going to bring back the Biff against the younger soldier, what happens as you get older? You're going to still be able to take on all comers, not just the small ones. Glad to hear you on the mend, Rob. Now staying out of trouble is your next mission. He just sent me an excellent video. I love it. I really do. And you're going to see it tomorrow. Vinegar on fish and chips. Done it a couple of times, Jack. I don't know if I got the taste for it, But today we ate some beautiful chicken, despite the fact that it looked like it was red raw on the inside, served by beautiful women that took away my ability to reject it. So I ate it to show that I appreciated her attention, and she was lovely. She hung around, spoke for a while. You know, I can convince myself that almost every girl likes me. Some of them probably do. I just don't know which ones exactly do because I've been out of the saddle for a long time. But the next girl, I'm going to give her 2 minutes of happiness. It's going to feel like bloody Valentine's Day for 7 years. How and where can you take a dump in the army, especially in Kapuka? In a toilet like everyone else. When you go out field, but this is one for you, UN Virgin Olive Oil. Good name, mate. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, you're very welcome. As a platoon sergeant, the shit pit gets dug beside my pit, or near my pit. There is no hashing around it. Guy or girl, you will come and you will shit right beside me. And depending on how long I've been on operations for, I might even look over and have a conversation with you and you won't give a shit. How you going, mate? That one looked like it hurt. Was that a C ration pack? But when you're out in the field environment, all that simply happens is you find a tactical pause, and you rip your jocks off. If you wear boxer shorts, you dig a a cat scrape, you bury it so that it doesn't give away your position, or also allow flies to come and, spread the filthy germs, and contaminate your area. And then we get on with business. If you're like me, who has a lower bowel disease, all I simply did was undo my fly like it was bloody a hot rivet. And by the time I took my pants off, I was spraying the ground, tainting it red. Hey, Lauren, how you going, mate? I hope you're doing all right, mate. I saw your message and I gave you some room, okay? I hope you're doing okay with the family. Jay, Lauren, I didn't want to tell you, Mr. P's gone. Turned out on the 23rd of August, he lost his life. He lost his battle, I should say, with his sicknesses and ailments. And his wife, Christine, let me know today. So he's resting now. He is. Callum, g'day, buddy. Let's have another talk soon, mate. Tomorrow morning, I'm supposed to be getting up early and going over and taking some photos of the beach. I want to send those over to USA. Just popped in and blow some kisses at Kaz. Huh. That one's on me, Jaxie. Thank you very much, Lauren, for being an amazing friend. That's okay, mate. Daz got not great, but it'll pass. Troughs, dips, peaks. It happens more and more as you get older, team, because you take on the stresses of those you care about as well. Dude, sweet right there. Lauren, we did some thumbs up and that for Mr. P losing his life. I'll put out a video tomorrow so people can actually put a thumbs up or a message to say goodbye to Mr. P. Mr. Buckarooni's already done so. For guys and gals, if you like to camp, and I don't mean are you camp, Mr. Buckaroony has got everything you need over there. Bigger channel, doing great. At the moment his head's a bit rough, got some cancers cut off, but he's worth it. Joshy Fallins, good idea, Kaz. I might do the same, mate. It's if it's not raining, it's raining here at the moment. Don't kiss Kaz. He may have the ringworm. I could have, but I don't have. But what I could have is a bit of chicken infection after eating the beautiful girl's raw chicken today. It's been a while since we've had the backdrop of the Coca-Cola as well. Virtual hugs to you, Lauren. Robbie never gives those to me. You bloody two-fingered pirate. Rob has had less luck than a Chinese bloody gold miner, to tell you the truth. So we should be putting some thumbs up there for Robbie Kent as well. And he told me what Kent stands for, and that's pretty bloody funny. Scotty says, here, still watching, just trying to cook dinner. Now, Scotty, what are you doing in the kitchen? You can cook 2-minute noodles outside, while you're watching the sun go down. There's Josh with the happy face. Orange Shine, thanks, folks. I'll be right. I'm a pretty tough cookie. God plays with us on a daily basis, doesn't he? Now, I got gifted with a massive tax return, but that's been over 5 weeks now, and it hasn't come to the bank account. So I'm wondering what they've got to say. Hopefully, it's not an audit. I asked for my tax agent, do I need audit insurance? Not the fact that I'm never dishonest, but he said, nah, mate, just all work sectors seem to be fairly non-professional at the moment. I've got to go over here, but busy at the same time. That's all good, Lauren. It's all good. I hope you're okay. I hope your family's well. I hope Pash the dog is keeping you happy as well. Scotty reckons the wife could burn water. Is that why Quinny joined the army, to get away? Gold. Sage. G'day, Sage. How you going? Cuz, have you ever tried Aldi brand Summit Cola? Wash your mouth out, Sage. I've got enough money in my bank account to drink the real thing, and when I do, I drink it in the glass, preferably. If not the can. I don't like cola, and I won't stand for Pepsi. But thank you for testing me. Give us some questions, team. Let's go. Rob Kent. Every time I go to hug Kaz, he always turns around and backs up to me. Mate, that's fake news. I don't back up. I just stop moving forward. Then it becomes your movement. Lloydie, is that the water or kettle pot you were smelling? I don't know about that one. Guys and gals, what's going on in your life? Is everyone having a bit of a hard time at the piss trough at the moment, or is it just Kaz and Co at the moment? That's why I'm hoping to go tomorrow in the Venga bus, go and pay $200 for diesel, and go and look at the ocean. It normally has all the answers for us, doesn't it? The sailor's shuffle, says Jay. Yeah. It's about right. Don't get splinters off the deck. What do we got, Miss Buckerini? I'm having real Coke with my whiskey. There you go. I don't have the man's ability to drink the whiskey. We've spoken about that one before. I was going to show you the video that we got from Robbie Kent, but we'll stick with me doing the video tomorrow that comes out about it. Drunk Drop Bear, where you going, Kaz? I'm probably going out to North Narrabeen tomorrow. I always go to the same area. The thing about photography is that you can go back to the same place near the ocean, and you're always going to get a different photo, a different angle. Okay? Different people living their life, and that's what it's all about. Apparently, you can get a cold Coke pretty much anywhere in Afghanistan, mate. Everywhere you go overseas, Bainey, Coca-Cola is that brand, the immortal brand. Okay, Callum, question for you, mate. What's your future plans for the channel? This is a fantastic question. A fantastic question. I'm going to answer that right now. Jennifer G, do penguins have knees? No, I don't believe they do. Callum, I'll answer that right now by saying to you, I think we've covered almost every topic that I need to cover ever, basically on military. That's why I try to explain to people to go to Patreon, get in there, so that any conversation you need to have can happen via the bat phone for one-on-one guidance. Because I'd like this channel personally to become a contextual channel, which is all about doing reactions to things that are happening right now, or something that's very important that you may not have seen because of your age, a life lesson that you can learn that can garnish a better life for you as you get older. There is so many things and so little time for so many people to do that research themselves. It'd be fantastic. And one of the videos that I saw was, and this is going to be one that I reckon Mr. Buckaroony would love, and Rob Kent. I don't want you to watch it, but because I'm about to do a reaction on it. Let's just say it's Sylvester Stallone. I won't tell you the year, and I won't tell you the movie or the why. But when you look at Goggins, when you look at Joe Rogan, when you look at Jocko Willink, all these people, way before their time, there was people saying exactly the same thing in a different way. And it is amazing to hear that they had the same social problems then that we have now. They've just capitalized now, and the truth is dead. So, to me, the answer to your question is, I would love this channel. Give us a thumbs up if you'd be happy with this, because most of you guys are going to get in the military. And then you're going to be, why would I go back to In the Trenches with Kaz channel when I've already made it to where I feel like I don't need that advice anymore? But there might be videos where you go, well, Kaz is doing a reaction to this, that, and the other. Fantastic. He's got the time to investigate the subject, add some, a little bit of humor to it, add some effects to it. Okay. And whether it be from Story Blocks, Motion Array, whether it be from Artlist, etc., editing tools from the Premiere Pro suite that we use, we put in a lot of effort. You may not even realize it. And give you something that you can say every couple of days, man, I didn't know about that. But it's a wholesome subject. It's an information subject. It's a wisdom orientated, life changing step. It's something stuck with me that you said that made me investigate a subject, and now this is where I am. I can't stick with Army forever. I can't. And I don't want it to be a chore, team. I want the people here that are like your Dazzers, like Joshy, like Robbie Kent, like Cane and Peppers, to be able to say, you know what? It's about time that we were surprised every couple of days by a video that sometimes was less about, um, uh, less long stream, okay, short, to the point information, not necessarily all about effects, but a subject that you can grip your teeth into, have a conversation in comments, and enjoy the channel forever. Hey, Sage, how you going? Thumbs up emoji says. Thank you, Lauren. Fantastico says, Josh, I agree. Hey, Kaz, how many socks should I be bringing out field for the flood? Is 4 enough? How long are you going for, Navy veteran? And are your boots waterproof? Sometimes you think, oh, why wouldn't you have waterproof boots? And that's because waterproof boots get hot as hell. When you're out field, there's nothing worse than hot feet. Any chance of a minute silence before the end of the stream? Yeah, we can do that for sure there, Jay. Absolutely. How long have we been on for? We've been on for 48 minutes. We'll do it at the exact hour mark, which is 12 minutes from now. How does that sound, Jay? And I think that's a fantastic idea. Always fish about. What is the most kilometres ran in any one day at Kapuka for reserves? I'd say 5. It's probably your high tide mark there, mate. Probably less. I can do that for sure, Jay. Bain, it would be cool if you did videos about funny stories that happened in your career life. You're a pretty funny looking guy, says Bain. Nah, he said. You'd be a nice, it'd be a nice touch, Jay. Yeah, it would be. Yep. And Mr. P was a service member too, which is even better. Smash the like button, team, says Cane and Peppers. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much. Guys and gals, we don't get a chance to be able to explain to you, and this is going to come out in the video in the next couple of days, that the mistakes you make that can screw your life up, you tend to make them when you're younger, and you can't rewind the clock. You can't get the time back. You can't say sorry. So it's so important that you work on you. Understand that you don't have a hell of a lot to offer in your first years while you're going from a boy to a man, because we don't have the ordeal of manhood anymore. Is it important? Goddamn right, it's important. People didn't think the manhood ritual was important, that the Titanic was something that happened 100 years ago until the Ukraine happened. And then we saw the men had to stay, pick up a weapon, and fight. On the other side of the border, to the east, we're seeing the Russians again had to pick up the weapon and fight. It's gender only, it's gender specific. But don't expect a feminist to come and say, you can't take my son. It ain't going to happen. So, guys and gals, you need to remember the way we live our life, the way we prepare ourselves for the trials and tribulations that a man has to be able to take on as his biological need to provide and protect kicks in, that you need to set yourself up for success. Because if you don't, it is impossible that you're going to be looking appealing to someone who's looking for someone who can provide and protect when they're the most vulnerable, when they've had a child, or when they'd like to have a child. If you can't give that, you can't expect them to give you that credibility, right? And they're going to let you stay at, first base. Now, also with employment, the way you walk, the clothes you wear, the way men look at you, you need to make sure that you are not just aggressive, but you are confident. You are able to understand that your place is to usher the people onto the Titanic, not to find a place to sit yourself. If you have that theory, that be dangerous mindset, and tackle everything like it's important, like everything is a need that needs to be won. The same way that Burke and Wills looked at a mission that others thought was folly. We wouldn't have discovered the other countries if there wasn't people ready to fall for their calling for something that was greater than themselves. And no one will ever feel sorry for you. I'm sorry. It ain't going to happen. And the wider you are, the less that's going to happen too. In recommendation for running music, I can listen to the Rocky soundtrack forever. Connie Memes, absolutely. That is a good one. But you don't want to be running at red line the entire time either, do you? I never listen to music when I'm running for the simple reason I can't handle that heat of having anything around my ears. But when you're running across roads as well, you also want to make sure you're alert. Sage, have you seen that crazy propaganda video where a Russian is talking about having the whole planet as the motherland? Well, that ain't going to happen. And that the platypus is Russian and so is the Eiffel Tower? No. But I've seen China try to claim Mount Everest. Mm. Yeah. Guys and gals, we're living in a land of craziness these days. And the biggest, saddest casualty of all this is truth. We are watching the world change before us. And depending on what you do and what you say, will allow those to know exactly where you sit. So what I'd say to you is it is not brave to be on social media telling people exactly what you think. Don't do it, because the collateral damage will be you. Sure fact of this is the lady that's just going to jail for what happened on an island with a guy who exited this world. She's going to jail for over 20 years, and she doesn't even have to produce a list of those that were co-conspirators with her. So if they're protected, that goes to show you, be very careful of the fights you take up, because as we become a cashless society, they can reach out and touch you like that. Not the red kid tonight. I ran 800 meters in 5 minutes and 33 seconds, and my mate thought I was sprinting, but compared to ADF standards, I am slow. That is true. That is true. But you know what? You've got to start somewhere, and everyone starts at base camp, don't they? I like that, Kaz. Thank you, third person. Coddy Memes, there we are. We've got another 6 minutes, and then we'll be taking a minute's silence for Mr. P. If you've got another drink that you want to crack the top on, to do so, there we go. Engage in veteran services, people, please. Please, life's too short. Look, veteran services I don't even know what I think about them, Josh, to tell you the truth. There's clicks in everything, and when you turn up there, no one wants to see people who feeling sorry for himself, etc. And they don't want to see you turn up feeling sorry for yourself. They've got their own dramas as well. When we come together, it's normally more about camaraderie, having casual conversation and then seeing the truths that fall out of that. And then you can see if someone's in a good spot, bad spot, or whatever. One of the hardest things I find, don't run to a time, run to what your body says. You got to be careful with that tropical salt because if you do that, some people will just walk instead. What are we talking about? Talking about something that was about to be smart, almost witty, I think. Um, can't remember. Hit that like button. That wasn't what I was going to say, but that's a good idea. Bane, kind of means listen to the Doom soundtrack to try not to give people death stares. Here we go. I wonder what you guys are going to achieve with your lives. I'm very lucky to be 51 years old and have lived the life I have because we were alive during generations before all of this crap was going on. We had different crap. Don't get me wrong, different crap in one toilet, to tell you the truth. We had toilets that were outside, not inside the house, that came complete with spiders to keep you company in the night. People killing chickens in the backyard instead of going to the shop or Kentucky to get it. Now, Sage, how hard of a time would you have if you go to Kapuka with barely passing the PFA? You'd have, at Kapuka, I don't know if you'd have a hard time. Because the sloths will normally hang together so they don't have to get pushed as hard. And now that they've taken out dropped the standards to the point there is no exit fitness requirement, what would happen, but is if you go to infantry, you're going to be doing a full BFA on the very first day you get there, and that's at a lot higher level than the PFA. But at the end of the day, if your fitness standard is a PFA, then that's not the attitude I'd want beside me. To tell you the truth, it needs to be higher because we're only as strong as the weakest link. Picture this one, Sage: 4 people carrying someone that gets injured in peace or in conflict, military or civilian, SES even. Imagine being the weak link on a stretcher, all because you didn't train, because you didn't do what you meant to do when no one else is watching, and the golden hour it takes to get that person to help, it lapses because someone else had to work harder because you couldn't carry the weight. Because you look back in your own eyes and know that you let yourself down and ultimately you let down the team. You don't want to be that. It's a reason why there's an educational requirement for joining the military because there is a problem solving capability requirement while you're in the army. You're also where the rubber meets the road for conversations with external, whether it be villages, whether it be media, whether it be foreign forces, whether it be commanders, whether it be your own team. You need to be able to public speak. Now, all of these things are there for a reason. And every soldier will be tested by nature. They'll be tested by uh, the mission, and they can be tested by their emotional ability, okay, to make something more important than themselves. Mm. When it hits your lips. Hey, veteran, remember, guys, if you can pass the Army fitness test, then consider the Navy. We always need some young, motivated men. And as we know, Navy veteran, the Navy would be my second choice. But what I'd say to you is get on a warship. And that's not because you want to go to war. It's because you'll have a completely different life on a warship than what you will on a support ship. Fingers, if you want to work out where war is going or needs to be, study the Armenian and Azerbaijan War of 2020, the 44-day war. Hey, Mr. Cooper's here as well. Fingers is straight above you, mate. G'day there, Coops. Tested by their peers as well. Absolutely, you'll be tested by your peers. Man, Coops, Fingers, we all work together. You know when you walk into a common room, when you walk into a boozer, when you walk into an area, your reputation rolls with you. If you're an underachiever, if you don't have mates back, do you remember what would happen when there was a drama in town and a guy was bashed a buggery, but his mates didn't have a scratch on him? Holy shit. You'd better have some good reasons why. You watch your brother's back. Trouble with salt. That's why if you want to improve running on your body limit, to your body limit works for me. Well, Tropic, you're not in the military, are you? We want you to run faster than what you can run. That's the whole thing. But it's not running with joggers on and a singlet. We need you to be able to do it as part of QRF with your webbing on, with your equipment, with your fatigue on, with aches and injuries. Don't go to the doctor. You're not allowed to be late by law. There's no excuses tolerated by law. Here's one for you probably don't know. You will not chuck a sickie in your entire career by law. No matter how sick you are, unless you're in hospital, you have to be at first parade, no matter how sick you are, okay, and on time. You can't ring from bed. You can't ring up and say, I'm sick, I'm at home still. Ain't going to happen. You're either in hospital or you're at first parade. There is no ringing from home. That's why I know it's deliberate when people are late in civilian sector, because it doesn't happen in the military. And when it does, the reaction is fast and swift and final. Okay, team. As we said before, for the 1 minute silence, as a military member, although he didn't die in operation, I'm going to say this for Robert Patterson, faithful servant to the nation, to his family, okay, to the channels and to those, including yourselves, that he gave the wisdom to while not telling us to get off air. Okay, lesbian mode kicked in. They should grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. And the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. Robert Patterson, we say, lest we forget. For 1 minute, let's go. Rob Patterson, thank you for your contributions to Australia, to the land that we all love, that we consider girt by sea, we call it home, and to what you've done for everyone you've made an imprint on. Thank you for your service, mate. And now it's time for you to rest. Since the 23rd of August, 72-year-old mate. Good on you, buddy. Lest we forget. We forget. Wonder if anyone will stream for me when I kick the bucket. Lesbian mode off. Sorry for the ladies. Hope his family's well, Miss Christine. RIP. Messages there. Don't worry, guys. I'll put another video out tomorrow that we can write a dedicated message that's all about Mr. P so his family can find it and understand that he matters. Because at the end of the day, that's all that really matters, isn't it? Let's get rid of things like Black Lives Matter shirts and let's just have you matter. Just you matter. That what great shirt that would be. lest we forget. Rest in peace. Thanks, Kaz. It's all right, Jay. You look better in lesbian mode, Kaz, then let it be. Let it be. I just got this cut off. You know, for everyone that's over 40 that is follically challenged and doesn't have hair left. Now, look at this. Nowhere near grey yet. Nowhere near it. I like to imagine Mr. P tapping the watch at Peter for taking too long. And he would have timed that minute that I just gave him too. How many people put a thumbs up there if you actually were counting how long that minute silence is, just to make sure that I didn't bloody cheat Mr. P his full minute. Geez, you're a bloody judgmental bunch. FPS Monty, g'day, mate. Hey, Kaz, glad to catch a stream. Great to have you here. Frames per second. Jared Hand, Fingers, as we know him. Fingers and I've got to tell you now, had one of the best trips I've ever had in my life, of brotherhood, of mateship. I had that guy's back, and he's not going to tell you how. Resilience, mental, physical toughness, and a willingness to accept hardship is rare in our society now. It is, but it's our fault because we're breeding it to be watered down, aren't we? What is a poison chalice, locust and honey? The poison chalice is something people drink from. You know, we'll give an example. The poison chalice, how many people in Hollywood have drank from the cup of giving, you know, to be able to get everything they want, not understanding that favors will be called upon at a later date. It happens in outlaw motorcycle gangs. It happens in close-knit groups where trust is valued. It happens when there is manipulation by one on another using force over weak. There is the golden chalice for careers. It is accepting something but understanding that there is a poison that comes with it that you think is tolerable until you're asked to pay it. Lauren would have the perfect answer for the golden chalice, for the poison chalice, sorry. Sometimes being quiet for someone is drinking from the poison chalice, because later when they are punished, you will be too, when they're caught out. Damien, thanks, Kaz, for all you do, big buddy. Damien, it's okay, 666. You know, and this is what I want you to understand. We're more than a channel, mate. We care about our members. We really do. Robbie Kent, thanks, Jay. Yep, there we are. You know what? There's a lot of people in this channel that have probably drank from the poison chalice in some way or another. And I always say to someone, everyone's got regrets. If you don't think you've got regrets, then just think a little harder, and you'll find one. Hey, Lachlan O'Brien, member for 17 months. Finally got a date for my surgery. 1.5 years wait. Holy shit! What is that surgery, Lockie? And thank you very much for your commitment of 17 months there, mate. You know, can we get that, the Master Sergeant here, can we please get him some thumbs up there for what he's done for the channel? Young Lockie, well done, mate. And tell us what your surgery is, buddy. Because you get another Ellen haircut. I did get an Ellen haircut. It's not really thin. It looks like it is, but it's not. The Arab guy goes, oh, do you want me to take that much off? But then I go from a hippie to this and go, mate, that was a lot more than that. Case, you get another Ellen hat? Yes, I did, Carl. I did. What colour is your van? Racist. Ellen does wish she looked like me. Robbie says, Jay, don't bother looking at the absolute tribe he has on his channel. Who are we talking about, Rob? Johnny Budweiser. Budweiser is the drink I have when we're in the USA. I think it's just a matter of time before someone comes along to correct this, the course of our culture. Such a beautiful culture and a beautiful nation. Look, I totally agree with you. Fingers. Yeah. I just wanted to lick it. You know, I got to tell you, when you and I went to Louisiana and you put us in harm's way in the ghetto, looking for that goddamn jacket and a fast bike shop, a lot of people don't realize, Scotty, we go to Louisiana. I went with Fingers there. I'd already had, an absolute stellar trip living in Hawaii with him, I'll call it. I lived in the streets. We lived in the streets. And basically, we ended up saving our skin and getting over to Louisiana mainland around Bourbon Street, where we were told, do not venture off the moors. Werewolf in London. It is so dangerous. There was prisoners outside the Holiday Inn in their orange with their shackles around their legs and their wrists. And there were soldiers that ventured off the Bourbon Street in Louisiana that were in severe fights instantly and got bones broken, just for being off that road and venturing out into the fog of war. But during the daytime, Fingers, myself, and a couple of other guys, I think Rossi was another, we went looking for a bike shop that was way down where it looks like Falling Down was shot with Michael Douglas. And we got shadowed by a bunch of black people who were walking with us and basically said to us, what the F are you doing here? White boy, you need to get back to where it's safe. And then we got told at a Burger King that was in the ghettos, they said, man, you're going to get killed. You need to get out of here right now. Your life is in danger. And we got a taxi equivalent come and picked us up and basically said, dude, you guys are lucky to get out of here alive. And Fingers is going, but you know where another bike store is? I couldn't believe it. I had to sleep in the bed with Rossi that night, and I made that carpet look like a war crime. How will the DFR enlist a personal, i.e. telephone call or email? Both, Aussie Mike. I believe it's both. Rob, I think Kaz's hair is looking very Roman tonight. It is. It's looking a little bit like the Simpsons character, to tell you the truth. Hammerhead, Kaz. I recently went through my assessment day for infantry and commando, but unfortunately it was rejected. Did they say on what grounds, Hammerhead? How old are you, mate? Comjack. Lucky it was another Hurricane Katrina situation. Yeah. Hey, how's I don't think that she had a chance in hell, but how's Liz Truss now? I wonder if we're going to see the women's groups come after her as the shortest ever stint in politics. 45 days. The Queen Elizabeth's last dying breath was to give her the prime ministership. She's already thrown it in, thrown the towel in. I'm actually a Christian soldier, my friend. There you go, Damien. You know what? And I don't care what religion someone is. It gets confusing in some areas, especially when you start talking about Hindu and Muslim, where you've got Hindu won't touch the cow because it is the what do you call it? It is a sacred animal, so they won't touch the cow, despite the fact there's areas where people are starving, so the cows walk through the street. If that cow walks across the border into Pakistan, they eat cows, love the beef. They just don't eat the pork. So depending on what animal you are, you'd better be able to read the border signs, or you could end up on a fork. Okay, Hammerhead. Their reason for rejection was because I don't have a gym membership, even though I can perform 60 push-ups and a 12.2. Their second reason was I didn't have high enough grades. Well, to tell you the truth, mate, your gym membership wouldn't have made any difference whatsoever. They don't expect you to have one. You don't always get the real answer from DFR, so to speak. The second reason was that I didn't have high enough grades. I'd say that's the only reason, to tell you the truth, mate. And look, the best people don't get in. That's an actual fact, mate, which is sad. If they're giving you something you can do, how old are you, mate? Let us know. Fingers. And then you got stuck in the Peacher, and I ended up 2IC for the rest of the X. That's right. The Peach is where you go when you get killed on the in the activities. And I was told that, I got shot while we were patrolling, and my alarm went off, and they said, "Mate, you've got 5 gunshot wounds in your ass." And I went, "How did that happen? I only got shot once." And they said, "Just get in there, lay on your guts." And the platoon sergeant didn't do a good job. And so he didn't put in a reinforcement request, and I got to go and drink coffee, basically till the end. Kaz, my surgery is for hernia. They suck, mate. So I'm good to get back on an enlistment in 6 weeks after surgery. There you go. Lockie, the hernia is nothing to laugh at, mate. It does suck. Oh, okay, Hammerhead, you're 17. Mate, you're way too young. They're not going to let you go for commandos. 17. Don't worry about it, mate. Come back in a year, 2 years, and you'll be good to go. We don't like to take 17-year-olds. Too immature, body not formed. Think that you're already at the ready rate, mate. They've probably done you a favour, Hummer. May not feel like it at the moment. Okay, do the best you can. No matter how much you hate school, stay for the girl in the front row. Get a good pass. Make that your mission, regardless of whether you like it or not. And if you pass year 12 in English and maths, your education has now been ticked off for military. Sanaj, how's your hair, sir? You're the ripe old age of 28. There you go. Guys, let's get out of here so I can ring my daughter and prepare my camera gear to go and get some peace tomorrow from the nature psychologist, the beach. And let me just say, in line with what the thumbnail is, okay, how many more children need to be crying into their hands for the rest of their life wondering who dad was because the politicians, Zelensky and Putin, are failing to come together and understand there is bigger hands at play that are keeping the fight going. It is time that people are able to accept a reality that is not perfect, and stop dying for someone else's ideal and financial systems. Now, I don't know what that looks like, but what I would say is it takes time for an intermediate person to step in, or an organisation, and say this has got to stop. In these modern day societies, this should not be something that's happening. Unfortunately, a lot of promises have been broken, and the people that are paying the price is the little girls and the little boys. The only thing they want in their life, the only thing they want for Christmas is their daddy to come home, regardless of the flag he carries. So, guys, with that, with Mr. P, with the respect for his coming tonight, thank you very much. And we're going to really appreciate what we've got, because we see now how easy it can be taken away. And we are living in the best times in some ways, but also we're living in a, what would we call it? Simulation. It really feels like. Take it easy, team. When in doubt, go and look at on the 28th of this month. All Quiet on the Western Front comes out to Netflix. It's going to be shocking. It's going to be sad. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be educational. And before that, listen to The Greatest Lie Ever Sold by Candace Owens on YouTube. And make sure you do that with someone black reacting to the video, because what you don't see, what you don't understand about their culture, you're absolutely going to see a fantastic educational, representation of exactly what happened around George Floyd, what happened against Derek Chauvin. Chauvin? I could say his name right after this stream. And there is a travesty of justice in many ways. And when you watch the video, especially if you watch the JFR family, I recommend that to you. It's going to open your eyes, and it's going to make you ask some goddamn questions, because they need to be asked. They really do. Hit the like button. I like you too. I swipe right on me about every third night, and I hope that you have a great time. And our kids should always come first, except when it's for a chicken leg in the Kentucky basket. All right, guys and gals, thank you for the respect tonight. See you later. And to Christine, the lovely wife of Mr. P, all the best, love. And it's good to see he's out of his pain. See you later. And thank you, Mr. Buckaroonie, for getting me ready for this stream. See you later. Take it easy.